Hey there, crew. I have an incredible unboxing today from a UK shop, Mama Makes Store. And let me just tell you, when Lottie asked if she could send a few things, I thought it was just going to be a few things, but then I opened up this box and saw a massive amount of just goodies. Not only is she 3D printing her own products, we've got stamps, we've got stencils, we've got washi, and we're going to be unboxing all of this today. And I'm also going to be creating a weekly spread to show off some of the goodies that are inside of this box. So without further ado, let's get some unboxing and some designing happening today. Before we get started, I just want to let you know 75% of you are watching these videos but still aren't subscribed. So if you checked out a video before, make sure to tap that subscribe button, show your support for the channel, and let's have some fun. So Lottie is the owner and creator behind Mama Makes Store. Wow, she makes all kinds of things, and we're gonna go through everything that's inside of this box, take a look. There's a lot of stamps, there's a lot of stencils, there's a lot of really cool items, and I can't wait to get all into it. So let's go ahead and let's start with like the cool 3D printed things that are inside of here, because there are so many. All right, the first thing we're going to check out are these Harmony tools here. So if you're familiar with any type of mixed media, you're used to seeing these domed pieces here. You can use these with distressed inks or other types of inks for card making, for multimedia. I've actually used the brushes inside of my bullet journal, but you can use these instead. And what's cool, they are 3D printed. There are all kinds of really cool, even metallic filament that she's using here. And what's neat is that they are Velcroed on here, so you can change out the pads if you want. There's also two other different type of accessories in here if you want to. One are going to be the alcohol felts here, so if you like to do anything with alcohol inks. And on top of that, I think this is such a cool idea, she has the acrylic circles. So if you want to use these with clear stamps or the cling stamps, you can as well. And she also has this humongous one here. Again, another one that you can use with the cling stamps. If you have something a bit bigger, you can press it down. A little bit different than just using like the regular acrylic blocks that we see. So this is pretty neat with the handle and using it too. Really nice ergonomic handles. Kind of just looking over the features of these online because I'm just getting them in my hands for the first time. You can buy these in different sets too if you wanted to. So if you don't want all of these, you only need a handful, you can buy them in different versions. And all of this you can do and check out over on her website, mamamakestore.co.uk. It is a UK-based shop. All right, while we're talking about those Harmony tools, we have to check out some of these cool stencils that she sent over as well. So these are really fantastic. I already have like some ideas on how I can use these inside of my bullet journal. Certainly can use these for card making and anything else that you want. So whether you're using a pen with these stencils and just using the shapes, I personally though love to use these with the distressed inks inside of my bullet journal. Adds a really cool look to them. You can definitely squirt them with some water and get some cool textures, but loving all of these pieces. This is even cool here too. It's like a Polaroid. So if you like that whole Polaroid idea, really excited to try out some of these textures down here. They're real small, but I'm already in love. I think I know what I'm using these for. So excited to try these out today too with some of the inks and the different tools and seeing how they all work together. If you're a fan of washi tapes, you'll also want to check out her washi tape selection. She sent us a few samples here. While I don't always use washi tapes inside of my bullet journal, I still have an appreciation for the art and the love of this medium. So it's really cool to see that she offers these in her shop. So you'll have to check these out too. All right, I'm still in disbelief over how many of these that she sent over. I thought I was just going to see a few of them, and then I opened this up and I'm just like, oh my gosh. So these are a huge collection here of clear photopolymer stamps. I already opened a few of them before because I was like, I gotta check these out and see what's going on here. So inside of each of these packages, you're going to find a handful of different designs. This is really cool, like this boho stars and this moon on here, which is a beautiful design. You can see everything else that's on here. We also have a magical day, embrace the adventure, make a wish. So a lot of different words and things that are on here. So this one has a dream catcher and some more words. This is the start of your story. Take a risk. Those are really beautiful. Here's a bunch. Create a life you can't wait to wake up to. Eat, sleep, create. Here's a planner one. So you have a cool little planner here, a bunch of fun little stationery, and then a bunch of different labels here. Let's actually open this one up. Definitely will have to get my stamps in order and organize these inside their own collection here. So these are really nice. Love all of these little tiny deals. So I'm gonna set this to the side. I'm actually gonna try to use these when we try to use these later on and see how well these little ones print. All right, some other ones. This looks like just a really nice handwriting. Ooh, that's a neat one. Look at those cool patterns inside of here. Totally could use those. Layer some different inks and things on top of that. That's cool. This is another cute one. We've got a bunch of little like hand-drawn items, it looks like. So we've got like elephants and stars and clouds and rainbows and some other handwriting. That's pretty too. Look at those. Some more boho type designs. Those are nice stars, all kinds of fun stuff. I know my daughters are going to love these too. They're all about these different types of designs. This is nice. So here's actually that floral pattern we saw on that washi tape just before. We're seeing that here. And then here's the other designs too on the washi tape. So that's cool. So you can get like a collection of these if you want to. Really cool grid kind of piece here. Looks like a little bit of like a splatter. So some other cool things, again, you can use to layer together. Oh, look at that. There's a holiday one with some really nice like postage stamps. Oh my goodness. Look at those. Did I open this one? Yeah, I opened this one already. I couldn't help myself. Like, look at these. These are going to look beautiful. And this is a really great example of how you can use this tool here with that, right? You stick that to that and then you're stamping it everywhere, like I will also be doing in not too long. We'll try those out as well. Get some more items here are stars and kind of shoot for the moon, sky related type items. Holiday stamps, those are super cute. I opened this one too because look at all these icons that are inside of here. And this is a great example too with the acrylic block here is that you could, let's take up like the trash can icon for instance, right? You could stick this right on here and then you can, you know, stamp that wherever you need it or set up something on side of one of the other acrylic blocks. Love these icons. Oh, and look at this one. Full grid, days of the week, numbers. I have to open this one up too. Wow. So if you don't have a dot grid, this is a really great way to add it. You have all your numbers here if you need to, and you can cut these off as you need so. Oh my gosh, this is super cool. All right, now on top of all of this, there's also a lot of acrylic items inside of here. And I've been trying to play around with them to see like, what is these and how do I use them? So again, you can use these for card making. You can use these for a lot of things. This is just a large acrylic block. This here is like a mix of like a ruler. It's called a swatch mate. I'm not 100% sure how to use it. I'll have to look up on the website exactly how to use the swatch mate. I'm assuming you can use these like if you're trying to draw out like a lot of different patterns or if you have like new markers or pens or even paints that you're using inside of here, you can just easily draw out some of these shapes to do. And then this is broken down. The circle here is broken down into a bit. I gotta read more about it, but overall, great stencil that you can just use and super nice, really nice acrylic. All right, this one's called the Journal Mate. Check this. Oh, yes, sir. Look at that. So a dot grid, it has all of the different sizes here for you to easily draw them out. We'll have to try this in just a few minutes and see how it works out. You also have the squares or kind of your line marker here goes from 1 to 39. This works really well for A5. And then she also has, I love this, this is so cool, some layouts kind of etched inside of here already. So you have a vertical layout with like 3 columns, and then this has another 2 with 2. So this would be like 5 days during the week and then the weekend. This is broken out and it tells you here too, it's 35 by 8. So you have 8 boxes, 35 down. That's really amazing. This is a cool tool. All right, and then this one is the rotate mat. You could take a piece of paper or let's say a stamp in this case, right? And then as you're going around, rotating it. So this can be used for card making, especially if you are, you know, creating different things like wreaths or any type of like circular patterns. This could be your deal. There's a lot of pieces in here. I have a lot of stuff I need to learn about this. So we might have to do just a whole video just on this one alone because I'm intrigued. This is pretty neat. All right, so let's go ahead and have some fun now with all these different supplies. I'm going to set up a weekly spread inside of my bullet journal here, and we're actually going to start off with this amazing journal mate. I was trying to figure it out when I was looking at it quickly, but it is pretty damn awesome when you really sit down and think about it. Now, this is going to work with a 5mm dot grid, so most standard notebooks have that, so you're not going to have to worry about it not fitting inside of your notebook. And I was like, okay, well, what are we going to do for this week? And I thought, well, you know what? Let's go ahead and try the vertical layout, see how well this thing works out. We're going to alter it just a little bit because I want to use so many of these different things inside of here. So the plan will be to set up a Monday through Friday inside of here. I'm going to go ahead and title or kind of create a header space with probably these stars or these dots, one of the two. I'm liking the way they look a lot for each one of those. Then we're going to add a little bit of extra fun on top of here as well. We've got all types of these stamps to work with. I haven't decided what I'm going to do just yet, but I do know that we're going to have some fun. So let's go ahead and create our weekly spread using all of these goodies. All right, the first step I'm going to do is use the 8 boxes that we have here, and that's going to go ahead and actually give me 3 nice and even columns as we're looking down the page here. Now, because of the size of my bullet journal and the spaces in between them, there is going to be one gap in between each one of the columns that we have here. So that worked out perfectly. I'm going to leave the right-hand side open. So this is if I want to create like these full sections all the way down, I would go 35 down, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go ahead and probably do it about 20 down, leaving some space here at the bottom. And that way I can add in some extra fun trackers or anything else that I want. I like to do everything in pencil first, and that way once I get the ink down and everything else, it's easy to just erase that later on and go over top of it with a pen. I've decided I'm going to do a watering tracker over here, so I just needed to kind of get my space for this really pretty leaf that's over top of here. So I'm going to go ahead and just create a grid right next to it. It's going to start on this line, and we'll set that up for the different areas of the house that I need to make sure I'm watering and how many days during the week that I'm watering them. Whenever I'm stamping anything, I like to lay it out generally in the space that I'm going to be doing it, just to make sure that I get what I want out of this. Now I've laid in the leaf over here for the plant and watering tracker. I've got this really cool, that boho looking moon. And then there was the create the life you can't wait to wake up to. And I thought that was really nice. It's just a nice little extra piece over here, kind of more decoration. And then I have crafty time, and this is super awesome over here. I'm really excited about it. So what I'm going to do is actually lay a few of these little things. There was like some scissors and some other fun little like stationery pieces down here, because what I'm going to do over here is I'm going to lay them down so that I can use this tool here and kind of stamp it down. It picks them up and kind of keeps everything in the place where I want them, versus having to try to like individually put each one of them on here. But what's important, if you're trying to do a similar type thing, is make sure that the flat side of the stamp is sticking up. So you don't want to lay it the other way, or else you're just going to get a big blotch that's on your page here. So all of the flat sides are going to be sticking up. All right, now that I have everything where I want it, we'll go ahead and get our little title going over here. So make sure everything is looking good, and it is. Now I can go ahead and lay it down position that I want it. Perfect. Everything's looking good together. While we're at it, we can keep the same thing going. So in this case, we have a really nice, big, huge moon. And we also have our create what we want. So then now that I have that, I can go ahead and lay this larger block on top of here. Keeps the placement exactly where I want it. I'm going to be using the Distress Oxide Faded Jeans for this one. Oh, I wasn't paying attention. I got a little extra ink over here from where I did that. So that was on me. That was my bad. Now that we have all of these things on here, next I'm going to do all the headers for each of these. So I'm going to need a few things to do this. The first thing I'll need is going to be the stencil that I'm going to be using. So I'll be putting these across here. Let's go with the stars. I haven't done anything like that before. So we'll go with the stars across here. We are going to need one of these. So this is what we'll go ahead and put the ink on, and then we'll be able to dab that onto the page. But more importantly, I have to lay down some washi tape, because this is just a little bit wider than my actual space is here. There's a few different ways that I could do this, and maybe it's a bit safer to do it this way, is I can go ahead and block off what I don't want stamped on here. Maybe that's easier to do here. And since all of the spaces are the same, it'll work no matter what. Maybe that's a bit better than putting them all over the place. All right, so I have this laid where I want it to go. The washi tape kind of helps it stick onto the page. All right, I've got a lot of color on the page. This is different for me. So I'm going to use Hickory Smoke, which is just a really nice dark gray. So what I can do is I can go ahead and pick up the color that I want, and then I'm going to go ahead and just rub it across my page. This job is just a little bit too small for this big guy here, so I'm just going to use my brush so I can get inside those little details. I really like the way that it looks. Just want to make sure that it works everywhere. All right, since the big one didn't work on that smaller detail, totally okay. We're actually going to use it on this big one up here for the header across the page. So I'm going to line this up on here, tape off what I don't want. All right, worked much better for the bigger pieces. All right, so we got a little messy with the inks, but that happens all the time. But overall, I love the way it's looking, right? We got some really cool stamps that we got to use. We have all types of different pieces. I love all the little fun, little craft and stationery deals. And I'm telling you, once you find out the right way to use these different tools together, it's really amazing. And I love this. So this is nice and big. It has a handle on it. It keeps my fingers away from the edge. You know, when you're stamping down and you get like little fingerprints everywhere. This is pretty awesome. So loving these tools. It's so cool, right? I absolutely love going outside of my normal comfort zone, trying a few different things. And when you're inspired by products like this, it's hard not to have a little bit of extra fun. So I had so much fun today doing this. And I just want to send a special thanks to Lottie over at Mama Makes Store. If you want to check out this amazing UK shop that does ship worldwide, make sure you head over to the website and I'll link everything down for you in the descriptions below. As always, thanks so much for hanging out for these videos. And hopefully you found something cool that you might like as well, or maybe some inspiration on how you can use stamps and stencils inside of your bullet journal. I'll talk with you next time. Happy planning.